Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be going over one of my favorite decks to have ever existed, and that is Red Eyes Dragon Link. We have a 60 card variant. The reason why we're going over it today is because a new pack just dropped, and in that new pack we have Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon. This guy is a new main deck boss monster. It's mainly for the Metamorph stuff. However, since it's a Red Eyes, it works with all the Red Eyes stuff. And it just so happens to be that you don't have to play all the other Metamorph stuff. You can just play this and the Metamorph trap that summons it, because this card itself searches for it. So let's go over the effect real quick. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned. Must first, it's very important. With max Metamorph that was activated by attributing a level 5 or higher dragon, you can reveal this card in your hand. Set one Metamorph trap from your deck, and if you do, shuffle this card into the deck. So, you search for this off of the Black Metal Dragon, you send it back to the deck, you set the max Metamorph, and then you summon it back with that max Metamorph. It's a great, he just like in and out the deck. He's like a revolving door with the deck, you know? He just keeps going around and around until he ends up on the field. And the best part of the effect is when he's on the field. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can negate the activation. Then you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of one attack position monster they control. That doesn't target or anything. So if they have a 10,000 attack, can't be targeted monster, doesn't matter. You can just burn them for 10,000 attack. Assuming it's 10,000 original attack. But you know, you get the point. It's a very good, it's a great effect. It's Omni Negate. It's an Omni Negate that negates the activation, so you can do it in like damage step and stuff like that. And it's just free burn on top of the other stuff. This is a great Red Eyes card. Just generally speaking, it's an easy to summon negate for the deck, and it's got burn, which helps with some of the Red Eyes motif. That does burn. You know, if you want to make the rank 7, like you can make a deck that just summons this in the like 2 or 3 rank 7s. The Flare Metal Dragon. This guy right here. Yeah, you can summon like 2 or 3 of this guy, and then this guy, and then they're just going to burn everything, and if they try it and threaten it, then you can just burn them, negate it, and burn them some more, assuming they have a monster. Like, it's just so, like, cool. You have the Meteor Fusion guy, he does burn, you have the Infernal Fireball. It's just, like, it's slowly getting more and more, slowly getting a better pile of more burn cards, which is nice, but the main thing is that they've got an Omni Negate that's easy to summon. Like, you know, we still have Dragoon. We definitely play him because he's the homeboy, and we have Verte in this format. So, in the Master Duel format. So, let's go over the deck. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. It helps out a lot. And yeah, let's just get on with it. So we're playing 1 Dark Magician for our Dragoon. We're playing 2 Red Eyes. 1 for our Dragoon, and 1 for our Black Meteor Dragon. I really want to cut it down to 1. I just cannot consistently get to World Chalice Guard Dragon. See, I have an idea that you can only play 1 of these guys, and you send it with the Black Meteor to summon itself, and then you somehow get World Chalice into rotation, and what he does is he summons back a normal monster from grave to a zone that a Link monster points to. So you summon back the Red Eyes, and you can Red Eyes Fusion from the hand, deck, or field. So when you send it off of Verte, you can just use the Red Eyes on the field. That's the dream, but I haven't come up with a consistent way to get to it. So unfortunately, it just doesn't happen. So we're stuck with 2. 3 Black Metal Dragons. This is the best card in the deck. This is the starter. You know, there's so many 1 card starters. There's so many 1.5, 2 card starters. Like, there's so many things that do so many different combination of cards get to so many different end boards. But this is what the deck is built all around, because we play him to do like this whole combo, and I've added a little tweak to the combo, and we play World Chalice and Rocket Synchron because they're level 1s for Drake Connection. Drake Connection's a very cool card. You reveal a dragon in your hand. You add 1 from your deck with the same level, and you shuffle the first one back into the deck. It's kind of like a worse safer, but in some ways it's better because you don't have to use your normal summon, and this isn't a once per turn card. So this card can eat an Ash Blossom, and then you can just activate another one, or you can just eat an Ash Blossom, and you can just continue on with your life. And you don't have to commit anything. It's just a spell card. It doesn't really, like, yeah, it plays into Duel, but you know, like, this is Dragon, like everything plays into Duel. Your Black Metal Dragon adds like 15 times, like everything here like plays into Duel, so there's no like real big issue with that. But it also gets you so many different combo pieces and extenders, because we have a I like to think of it, when you play Drake Connection, I like to think of every level of dragons to be like a category. So we have our level 1 dragons, we have our level 4 dragons, we have our level 6 dragons, and we have our level 7 dragons. We technically have 8 and 10 as well, but we don't play other 8s for Lubellion, and we don't play a 10 for Darkness Metal. Unfortunately, because this is Metal Morph, the Full Metal Dragon is Full Metal and no Dragon. So nothing we can do about that. We just have to live with it. But there's a lot of cool things you can do with this, with Drake Connection. We'll get more into it as we get into it, but just know that when you look at any category of dragons, dragon levels, that it's all one, they can intermingle a little bit. We play 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Mourner. I really like Mourner because the little burn on top of the Full Metal, I find it to be really neat. But these could be any hand trap you see fit. These could be Wallows, Perulia, Maxi, so whatever you want. We play 1 Wyvern. Wyvern is a card that gets stronger and stronger in the deck. So one cool thing about him is that he is a wind. So if we open him and Tempest, we can discard the 2 of them and add any dragon. That's another thing I like about Mourner. You can discard it with Tempest and add any dragon. So this is also a way to get some more starters. It's a 4, so we can search for white or dark or white or black off of the Drake Connection, or even Seyfert. We can search for Seyfert, or we can search from Seyfert. But also, during the end phase, if you didn't normal summon, you can summon a Red Eyes back from your graveyard, which can bring back Dragoon from the graveyard, whose negate's going to be alive, or it can bring back Full Metal Dragon from the graveyard. Which is why I said it's important to realize that it must first be special summon, which is phenomenal. You can bring back either one of your Omni negates for the low cost of sending this to graveyard, which we play Insight, we play Dragon's Ravine, we play that's really it. But that's all, like, but like you can search him off of the black metal and discard him. You can send them for cost off of the Insight. There's so many ways of like getting him in grave. It's just it's free. You can search for him off of Tempest if he gets banished. It's so very free. This is a great backup play. He's a great normal summon. He's 1800, which is really nice. It comes up in random like those random like stun duels. You know, they summon like a 1000 attack monster, and we don't have a lot of normal summons that are pretty big. Like we have this guy, and we have this guy, but this guy's searchable. This guy's easier to search, I should say, because you can set a black metal, and then they attack it, and you search for this. Next turn, you just attack over it. So when you've baited all their other stuff, so there's a lot of cool things you can do with him. He's a great guy. We play our white and black. We play two white and 1 black, because drawing into black is like a little worse because there's not as many lights in the deck. It's just like rockets and red eyes are just predominantly dark archetypes, so we just don't see a lot of lights. Like we have 1 Safer, the Lubellion, and like in the main deck that's really it. We have the white dragon, of course, but you know, we're talking about just hard starting black dragon. But I found a little workaround for that, and I play 1 spirit to help with that. We play the rocket package, not much to say there. Play 1 Safer. He's a decent normal summon. I'd rather get him in grave. Like I don't really like normal summoning him. I just like banishing him to add back Lubellion and then shuffling the Safer back with Branded Opening. Like it just nets you 2 cards for your Dragoon, and it's just like it just feels very free. It feels very nice to do. We play our 1 Red Eyes Meteor Dragon, who is he's in competition because there is another new Red Eyes card, but this guy's still very good. He foolishes a red eyes, potentially your dark magician, but he foolishes a red eyes for his summon, and he becomes level 7 when he's on the field. And because he's level 6 in the hand, for Seyfert and for Drake Connection, you can search for a bystial off of him, which is really cool. Like, you can search for him off of black metal, and then just send him away and grab a Saronir and get into Lubellion and some of the other stuff, or get into Baldrake, Jewelsworm, whatever you need for the moment. And then during the main phase, except for the turn he was in the graveyard, you can banish him at a Red Eyes Fusion from deck or grave. So he can be, if you don't summon Dragoon turn 1, this guy can be your backup play. You can search for Dragoon, summon that, and potentially put an end to the game. Or if you already have Dragoon on the field, you can banish him, search for add back the Red Eyes Fusion from grave, and then have a negate. And it's like, he just has a really neat effect. It comes up to help you out. You can discard your Red Eyes Fusion off of like Ravine if you know you're not going to Predaplant that turn, and then add it back next turn. Like, it makes losing Red Eyes Fusion not that big of a deal, which is what I really like about him, especially with the Drake Connection into these guys. So we play like one of every bystial. I just find one of every bystial to be very nice. You get to pick and choose who you get, and play around with that. You could definitely bump these numbers up. You can play 3 Jewelsworm if you want, 2 or 3 Baldrake, whatever you feel. But I personally just like to have a smaller bystial package, because I don't like seeing too many. And then we have, for our 7s, we have Tempest, who's just a very handy like extra summon. He can also banish any dragon you want from the graveyard. So if you have Branded Opening and Branded Regained on the field, you can basically every turn you can choose what to shuffle back, which I really like about him in like some grind games you end up in, because he's very cool for that. He just comes back every turn, 2400, making you draw a card on your turn and shuffling back whatever you feel like, one card at a time, of course. We play 1 Apsarautor to search for our rockets, and we play the new Red Eyes. We'll go over him as well real quick. This guy isn't even out in TCG. I didn't even know this guy was coming out along with the other Metamorph stuff. This is very out of nowhere for me. So you can activate Metamorph traps the turn they were set. That includes off of the Full Metal Dragon's effect. And you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can send 1 face down card you control to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. So you can set a monster, you can set a spell trap, and just send it away, summon this guy. And he's got Red Eye stats, which is weird, but we'll go over that in a second because it's a little fun fact. And then if he's normal or specialed, and you have Max Metamorph in your field or graveyard, you can add a Metamorph trap from your deck or graveyard. So essentially what you can do is you can set the Max Metamorph off of the Full Metal Dragon, and then send the Max Metamorph for the Metal Claws Dragon to summon it, and then when it's summoned, you can reset the Max Metamorph, and then you can activate the Max Metamorph during that turn to tribute the Red Eyes and summon back Full Metal. This can help you go for game. This can just put a negate up on the field to play through whatever your opponent has. It can threaten your opponent with a monster that can burn for a lot of attack, depending on what they have. It has a lot of cool things. You can even keep this guy on the field with the Max Metamorph, and then whatever 5 or higher dragons you have, they can dodge Imperm, Veiler, that kind of stuff. It's very, very cool. A very, very cool monster, very cool effect. And it's weird because it's literally just Red Eyes Black Dragon equipped with Dragon Nails, which is from the show. I believe, I don't remember if Joey used it against Rex Raptor or Rex used it against Joey when he had the Red Eyes. It was something like that. But yeah, but at one point, this was equipped onto Red Eyes Black Dragon, and like that's literally just Red Eyes Black Dragon with those claws equipped. So it's a shame that they didn't make this a Red Eyes card. Even if it was this exact same card and it was just a Red Eyes card, it would have just been really goofy. But this doesn't even like mention it or anything. It doesn't even call them nails. It calls them claws. It's a goofy little guy. So we have 3 Lubellions to continue on with the with the Bystial package. We want to see them as much as possible, because getting the draw and the searches and everything from the regained every turn is very strong. And if you get this up on the field early, when they nib you, and you get to summon back one of these guys, and then go into like a predator plant or something, it's just nice, like, follow-up plays if something happens. He's a great guy. We play the one Full Metal Dragon. We've already went over him. We play the one Darkness Metal Dragon for the combo. This guy, man, Dragon Link would have loved to see him at full power, man. If he was doing what he used to do back in the day, we'd be number one in the world. We played one Monster Reborn. I wanted some random strong one of to help with the 60 count. Monster Reborn's a great extender. Summon back any dragon for your combo for whatever you need. 1-for-1 is basically a free black metal dragon, because so many cards do so many different things in the graveyard that it's just like, it's absolutely free. We have the Drake Connection, which I've went over essentially while going over all these other cards. You get to just trade levels. One thing that's really cool is that Black Metal Dragon searches for red eyes of every level, like category that we have, other than one. So we can search for Wyvern and then put it back for any of these 4s. We can search for the Meteors for 6. We can search for the Metal Claws for any of these 7s, which is really cool. It's really neat. It adds a lot of not utility. It adds lots of variety, because you get to, you obviously have to hard draw into this, which kind of sucks, but you just get to have a lot more freedom, a lot more choice on what you have and what you're playing with. So that's really cool. We play one Fusion, one Insight. We play one Insight because it sends a red eyes. So it's nice to have an extra Dragon Engrave, an extra Dark Engrave, whatever we need. It's nice to have that engrave. And it's nice to have Search, because we have Fusion and we have some other targets for it as well. We play 3 Chaos Space to search for our light or dark dragons or Lubellion. It also adds Full Metal, which is cool. But we can search for any of those. We can recycle any of those, including the Full Metal. Yeah, the search part is cool. I like searching for Lubellion. The draw part is where it really shines. Personally, for me, just putting something back and drawing, it's just super strong. This card at 3 is just insane. We play 2 field spells, 1 Ravine and 1 Boot Sector. Just, regular combo stuff. We play 1 World Legacy Guard Dragon. This is a free summon of Black Metal Dragon. On like a really good day, it's just a free summon of that, while also moving over Pisty without having to like set up too much for Pisty. But some cases you just summoning back like Chalice or Rocket, like just for an extra extender. At best, it's an extender and a search. On some off cases, it's just an extender. So it's nice. It's got a good place in my book. I really enjoy it. But 1 Branded Regain for the grind game, for the advantage that it creates. It's just very worth it. 3 Quick Launch for our huge rocket package. 2 Called By. It's just really good. Too good not to. We play 1 Spirit. This is essentially the same thing as Wyvern. It brings back our Dark Dragoon or our Full Metal Dragon as part of like an extra disruption. Full Metal Dragon is a hard once per turn. Dragoon is a soft once per turn. So if you Dragoon negate, and then let's say they get rid of it with like Kurikata or something, you can Spirit, bring it right back during your opponent's turn, and it can negate all over again, which is really cool. You can also just hold your Spirit, and then bring back Darkness Metal, and bring something else back, push for game, that kind of stuff. We play 2 Fang with Chains. We're playing such a ginormous Red Eyes engine, so having extra Red Eyes cards to search is really cool. Having a very unique kind of this removal is very handy. This helps you deal with like Chaos Angels and things of that variety, because you just equip it onto whichever Red Eyes, except for Dragoon, because he can't be targeted. But you can put it onto Full Metal Dragon, which is really cool. That kind of stuff. You just take stuff. You can have spirit just to bring something, just to bring a Red Eyes back, just for Fangwood Chain to take it. It's really cool. We didn't go over this, but this is a new Max Metal Morph that we use to summon our Full Metal Dragon. So we tribute a face-up monster. We obviously know that for our Full Metal Dragon, we need a 5 or higher dragon. That's why we have such a huge count of 5 or higher dragons that can summon themselves, or can be summoned very easily. And what it does is special summon one monster. It can be normal summon that follows the criteria of what we tributed, but it also has this effect when it's equipped. The equipped monster gains 400 attack and defense. This guy's already huge. An extra 400 is like insane. This guy's 3828, which is like not that easy to get rid of. It cannot be destroyed by a spell or monster effects. As if it wasn't good enough already, it gets free protection from spells and monsters. Also, your opponent cannot target it with spells or monsters. So monsters and spells can't destroy it, can't target it. They can't Raigeki, they can't Dark Hole, they can't Dark Core, they can't do any of that stuff. So they have to out a 3800 monster by attacking it, getting rid of the equip spell, or what's he, like, tributing it or something. Like this guy's like, it's very difficult, very difficult. Or to have like a random trap card, but like even then, like he can negate. So he has all that protection and a negate plus the burn. Very powerful. And we have one branded beast to round out our 60 card deck with the last of our bystial package. This of course being for the just having like a nice removal, just being able to tribute stuff, pop a card, very nice removal, helps you dodge stuff every now and then. Very cool. We have one Dark Dragoon, that's our boss monster. We summon off of the Verte with the Red Eye Fusion. We have one Borreload Savage. We of course have the Rocket package, so we have to play the Savage. That's another Omni Negate that we can potentially end on. So he's very welcome in this deck. We have a Dispatter. Dispatter's extremely handy in this deck. He can be a monster destruction or a monster negate if we banish an opponent's card, which with the bystials is like a big idea of what to do, or with the Call by the Graves. Sometimes even just their own cards banish stuff. What's really cool is that he summons any banished light or dark monster, so he can bring back any of our monsters. Like if Full Metal Dragon gets banished, we can just bring him back. If Dragoon gets banished, we can bring him back. We can bring back any of our little extenders, any of our little guys to start doing other plays. It's very cool, very handy. If something happens to him, we can bring the Dispatter back with the Branded Regain. So he's bringing back all these homies, and we got this super clutch bro who's like bringing him back. It's great. We play one Pisty. Pisty is essentially Pisty's effect should just read summon Black Metal Dragon, get an extra search, because that's basically what it does. We have 2 Striker Dragons. It's very funny. You use 1 Striker Dragon for the Link Summon effect to add the boot sector, and then use the second. Typically, you use the second one for the destruction effect, for the ignition effect when it's on the field. It's very goofy. That's why you need to run 2. Oh, this is a really cool tech. So we run 1 Spirit with Eyes of Blue, because every time you have one of these little guys out, one of the little dragons, the 4 lower dragons, every time you have one of them out on the field, like you're gonna go into like another like Link 1, so you go into like Striker Dragon, but sometimes you're just gonna go into Romulus, or Hieratic Seals. What you can do is you can use one of these little guys and go into this for free. You just summon the Spirit with Eyes of Blue and then go into your Romulus or Hieratic, and now you have an extra dragon in the grave, a light in the grave, and a Link in the grave. There's like, he fits all 3 of those for an extra dragon for Tempest. He's a Link monster for Borreload. He's a light for Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. The idea is that you normal summon Black Metal Dragon as usual, and then you summon Striker, and you search for your boot sector, you search for your Darkness Metal, you banish the Striker, summon your Darkness Metal, and then you summon back the Black Metal Dragon, and then you link the black metal dragon into the spirit. You lose nothing. You get your search, and then you still can go into your Romulus. If you have Lubellion, you tribute the darkness metal right there. Summon the Lubellion, get your branded regain, and then you go the Lubellion or your darkness metal dragon, and the spirit with eyes of blue. And now you've got a light engrave, you get a dark engrave, and you're good to extend into anything. It just like this guy just opens up so many different avenues. If his arrow pointed down, we would be super cooking, but unfortunately it's not. But it's still very good. It's still really, really good. Obviously we don't use the effect. We have no targets for any of these effects. But it's funny that we have a blue eyes, a dark magician, and a bunch of red eyes. We play one Heretic. It's just too necessary. We play one Romulus for part of the ravine, basically search any dragon. The Lingerous dragon for part of our rocket combo. We play IP. IP is to just like get like random stuff out from the field, and then help you go into like a little night or something, or if you like it just unclogs the board sometimes. You just have like a bunch of random stuff going on. You just go like, all right, I gotta move stuff around. We play one Verte. You can also have the IP for the Verte, so you can Verte into your Dragoon while you have a IP on the field, and during your opponent's turn you have Dragoon plus basically a little knight. Banish one and then banish two until the end phase. We play one Saryuja Skulldread. Saryuja Skulldread's a very, very, very fun, cool, interesting card. We have so many things that just spam the board. We have so many just extenders and summons. We have so many combos that have so many bodies on the field. But we also have so many bricks. That's why we have a 60 card deck, is because we have so many bricks that we have to run that we don't want to see. We don't want to draw into Boot Sector Launch. We don't want to draw into Dragon's Ravine. We don't want to draw into any of these vanillas. We don't want to draw into just like Max Metal Morph, any of these traps. And the traps aren't as bad because you can just use them. You can just build your board around using them, so they're not too bad. But there's like random stuff we don't want to see, and there is things we do want to see. So we can get into Saryuja Skulldread, and we can put the bricks back, and then keep the good stuff. You could even, out of a black metal dragon, you could even search for red eyes. You can add the red eyes. You can add the traps. You can add the insight. You can add whatever you want, and then that's your guaranteed putback, which is really cool. It's a very fun and useful card. Like I very often go into him. Sometimes like people use their ash. People use their imperms. Like they're ashing your black metal dragon. Sometimes they're ashing your Lubellion. They're imperming your darkness metal dragon. Like those cards are getting used up. By the time you build up to the point where you can summon a Saryuja Skulldread, if they don't have anything for it, the game is done. People will scoop when you summon the Saryuja and resolve it, just because they're gonna be like, dude, this guy's fixing his hand. He's gonna draw into Max C. They're gonna I don't play Max C because of personal preference, but they don't know that. They're assuming these things. They're like, bro, this guy's drawing into some crazy stuff and putting some nonsense back. This game's over. It's done for. I've already used hand traps, and they've done nothing for him. And not only that, his zones are amazing for this deck, of course, for the Pisty plays and whatnot. The attack gain, the monster summon. This guy is phenomenal. You'd be crazy not to play him in this kind of deck. Especially specifically this deck, because you can just trade the Saryuja for a Heretic. And sometimes I don't summon Boarlord Savage on the first turn. I go into like the red eye stuff, and sometimes you can equip this Saryuja onto the Boarlord, and you get a 48 attack Boarlord with 4 negates. That shit's not easy to out. That's just a threat. That shit's like it might be better than a Cosmic Blazar. It's definitely not, but it's just funny to think so. And then to round it off, we have our Boral End Dragon. This is another one of our big boss monsters. This is the boss monster for our rocket engine. this deck is like 3 archetypes in one, and all 3 of those decks several boss monsters. We have the full metal and the dragoon for red eyes. We have the Borreload and the Boral End for the rocket, and we have the disbatter for the bystial. Like, we have several engines and then like several boss monsters, and like we can kind of like use like any of the engines to go into the other one. It's really cool. It's really fun. I love what this deck is like. I love what the Red Eyes deck has turned out to be, because it's just really cool. It's one of my favorite decks of all time, and to see how it's evolved and gotten better and gotten to the point where running more Red Eyes is better than running some of the other stuff is really cool, because I love the Red Eyes part of the deck. So Red Eyes is one of my favorite decks. So having a boss monster, another great extender, a great card to summon it, it's all really nice. I like where the deck is going. I like where it's coming from. So that's gonna be it for this video. Usually when I make these kinds of videos, you guys ask for replays, so I've already got some replays. I don't have enough for a full video yet, but I've already got like 2 or 3, and I'll try and go for 2 or 3 more, and I'll hopefully see you guys in that one if you guys really want to see it. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you watched this far, and if you've learned a lot about the deck. It'd really mean a lot to me if you left a like, left a comment, maybe even subscribe. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Take care. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.